Explosive reaction yesterday in Trenton to a group of parents who were in attendance. This was after lawmakers there advanced a bill that would make it harder for families to avoid getting their children's shots based on religious grounds. And when this decision was made, some very passionate parents really were upset by this. And joining me now on the Jersey Central Newsmaker hotline, who was right there yesterday while all this was going on, she is with a group in Jersey called Fearless Parent. She is a social worker. She is a mother raising 3 kids here in Jersey. Her name is Melanie Dragone, and she joins me this morning here on WCTC. Melanie, good morning. It's Bert Barron. Thanks for making yourself available on short notice. I really appreciate it.
You got it, Bert. I'm happy to be on here. Thank you.
The headlines are calling your group anti-vaxxers, VAXXERS. Is that an insult to your work, Melanie, and what your group is all about? It just doesn't seem like an appropriate name for passionate parents.
Well, in my opinion, that name has been created in the media to really create an image for our community. Our community is moms who are making informed medical decisions on behalf of their families and really using their religious beliefs to guide them regarding the medical interventions that they're choosing for their families.
So what exactly happened yesterday? Now, I know there was a big turnout by parents who were there, and I as a guy who follows Trenton very closely, it's not often that you see this much public attendance at something that's going on the floor there in Trenton. But obviously the troops were kind of rallied and everybody was there. Talk about what exactly was decided yesterday and why it was so unpopular with your organization.
So last Thursday, March 29th, the Assembly Health Committee, who is chaired by Dr. Herb Conaway from South Jersey, proposed an agenda item indicating that some type of bill regarding religious exemption here in New Jersey would be posted on the agenda for yesterday. We still, even after it's been voted on, have not seen the language or the text of this actual bill. So last week we activated all of our people, and we showed up yesterday with over 300 people there in Trenton, and we were permitted 1 minute each to give testimony to all of the Assembly Health Committee members, and people were passionate. People were desperately trying to explain how their religion should not be questioned. This bill really violates the Constitution, and they're really targeting about 2% of students here in New Jersey. We have a 97% vaccination rate. So this is a very small percentage of children that are going to school unvaccinated.
So what's the next step in this? I mean, yesterday was a hearing on something, and now it's sort of advancing. The next step now, and the fight is obviously not over for your group, but now does it move on to the full assembly, and it's going to kind of make its way through Trenton now? Is that the next step in this?
So, like I mentioned before, we don't have any language to this bill, the Assembly Bill A3818. We don't have any language to it. And yes, the next step is that this will go to the full assembly floor. We're anticipating, although we don't know for sure, that will happen next Thursday on the 12th of April. There's an identical bill, we're assuming, because we haven't seen the language yet, in the Senate Health Committee that has not been put on the agenda as of yet. So if they have a duplicate bill, then once it passes both the floor of the Assembly and of the Senate, then it would go directly to the governor.
All right. If I'm not mistaken, Joe Vitale, who represents this part of New Jersey, where I do this show from each and every morning, is the chair, I believe, of the Senate Health Committee. So concerned parents who are on board with you, Melanie, he's the guy they should kind of reach out and contact with their concerns. Start with him, I would think, right?
Yes, and actually he is the sponsor of that Senate Health Committee bill.
Okay.
So absolutely parents should be reaching out to that Senator Vitale, as well as all of their 2 assembly people throughout New Jersey. They should be reaching out to as well to let them know that they don't agree with this bill, because if it goes to the floor, they need 41 votes for it to pass in the Assembly.
What's at the real heart of the issue here with this, Melanie? Obviously, you're a mom, you're a concerned parent. Is it the religious issue of this that's troubling with everything? Is it just the fact that, your government wants to make a decision for you, and that's the troubling part, too? Is it a little bit of both, maybe, that plays a role in this?
Well, regarding this bill and this proposed law,
Mm-hmm.
it's the religious portion of it and how it goes against our constitutional rights. They are proposing in the bill to put in place, I don't know who we asked, but we're not sure how that's going to work. They are going to have someone sit with a parent like myself and assess my religious tenets and assess if they've been continuously held. And I'm not sure how that's going to work out because it's really subjective how someone might assess my religious tenets, and that's something personal to me and my family and not something that can be measured per se.
So that's what you were told? You're going to sit down and kind of get an individual analysis of your level of religion to dictate this? I've never heard anything like that. Is that what you were told?
That is in the language of the bill, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. How is that? That's not even possible. That doesn't make any sense. What do you sit with? What do you sit one-on-one with every parent in New Jersey and decide on an individual basis? That's not even practical.
So I'm reading directly from the Senate Health Committee version of the bill.
Mm-hmm.
I have it right in front of me, and it says documentation is set forth of this section, which is submitted to the preschool program, elementary, secondary, or institution of higher education as applicable by the student or the student's parent or guardian, if the student is a minor, explaining how the administration of vaccine conflicts with the bona fide religious tenets or practices of the student or the parent or guardian as appropriate, except that a general philosophical or moral objection to the vaccination shall not be sufficient for an exemption on religious grounds. And an exemption on religious grounds may be suspended by the Commissioner of Health during the existence of emergency as determined by the Commissioner.
This is creating just a gigantic problem that neither side needs right now. I'm very surprised to hear that that's the approach there that they're even taking, but this is just kind of insane. Correct me if you could on one thing, Melanie, and I'm completely new at this. I'm not a parent. I don't know anything about it. Someone was quoted here. There was a mom, I believe, who was from Old Bridge here in Middlesex County, pretty close to us. She claims that vaccines contain aborted fetal tissue. Is that true? As a guy who knows nothing about it, is that true? Is that really what's contained in vaccines?
Yes, there are. In some of the live virus vaccines, there are aborted fetus tissue utilized in the creation of the vaccines, yes.
So is that why part of the religious thing kind of plays into this, that the fact that the aborted fetal tissue is part of this?
Yes, as well as beef and pork and bovine gelatin and all these things that are against some people's religion to even consume, never mind be injected into their bodies. Right.
Wow. So what's next, Melanie, for Fearless Parent? This fight is obviously not over. I can just tell by the passion in your voice you got a lot of work ahead of you. But what is the next step for your group in fighting this? Where do we go from here?
The next step is really, connecting with us at fearlessparent.org and connecting with me through our website and reaching out to our assembly people. We have 2 assembly people in each of the 40 districts here in New Jersey, and they need to hear from their constituents that they oppose this bill, A3818.
Okay. Well, if you're a concerned parent or guardian, Melanie would love nothing more than for you to contact your lawmakers and express your displeasure with what's going on, because this is a fight that's going to continue. Melanie, before we wrap up here, there's an event coming up, a public event, which is where I kind of found out about your organization a couple of years ago. An event that's coming up in Red Bank that you want to invite people to. What's going to be happening there?
That event is Saturday, May 19th, from 5 to 9. You can find all the information on fearlessparents.org. And we're going to be doing breath work, and it's a healing modality that guides everyone to release layers of emotion and trauma and just held beliefs that limit our lives. And we're also going to have an author there, a woman named Katie Hess, who authored Flower Revolution, and she is a flower essence expert.
All right, very good. And more information on the Facebook page on that too?
Yes,
Very
fearless
good.
parent.
All right. Melanie Dragone, I really appreciate your time this morning, and you're very passionate about this cause, obviously. So continue and good luck in the fight, and please keep us posted along the way in this battle here, okay?
Thank you so much.